This week in Richland County, we've got a lot of excited, anxious, and nervous young people because school's starting. I know all of our school districts are getting going, and it is an exciting time for our young people, but it's also a time that our young people aren't paying about safety any attention at all because they're all anxious and nervous about coming back to school. Some of them want to be here, some of them don't want to be here, but it is a time that as adults we need to pay attention to something, and that's safety. And that's what we want to talk about this morning, is safety. A lot of times when you hear the word safety in school, you think about an armed gunman coming on campus. That's not what we're here to talk about this morning. We're here to talk about safety with our young people coming and going to school. We have community schools, which means a lot of our young people walk to school and take buses, which puts them on our roadways. And as adults, we have to have the responsibility to be careful, to make sure that these young people are safe as they're walking, as they're riding the bus. That's up to us as adults. Parents' responsibility is twofold. One is to teach your kids about safety, even though they may not want to pay attention to it, but you need to talk to your young people about how to walk to school, how to cross the road, how to look out for cars, how to be safe as they're coming and going to school. And then as parents and adults who drive our roads, we need to be careful. We need to watch out for them. We can't expect these young people to think about what they should be doing, how they walk into school. We should take that responsibility as adults and drive carefully. There's nothing that's so important that you've got to race through a school zone. Now, our traffic safety unit, our community action team, one of their main responsibilities during the school year is to monitor the traffic and speed around school zones. And I will tell you, we have zero tolerance for passing school buses. We have zero tolerance for driving too fast in a school zone. There's absolutely no excuse for that whatsoever. We're not going to issue anybody warning tickets when they get caught for that because that's a serious offense to us, and we're going to write tickets. Now, our hope and our goal is that we never have to write a ticket, that our drivers pay attention to the speed limit, to that flashing sign that says school's in session, and they slow down, and you be careful. You take your time going through that school zone because we can't rely on the kids to be the one that takes responsibility for that. We need to do that as adults. Now, one of the most fortunate things that we have in Richland County has been the partnership for all these years with our three school districts. We have three great school districts in Richland County, and all three have been great partners with the Richland County Sheriff's Department in making sure that our schools are safe, our kids are safe in school, but also outside of school. We work very closely together, and this is something we've been doing for years. I think when you look through the years and you see that we haven't had a lot of instances in our schools or outside our schools, it's got to do with the partnerships that we've got with all three school districts. Joining me this morning is the two school superintendents from Richland 1 and Richland 2. Dr. Hefner from Richland 5 wasn't able to make it, but they're also a partner with us. We work together very closely because our goal, our aim is for these young people to get a good education and to be safe, and for the teachers to be able to teach in a safe environment. So our goal is to make sure that our schools are safe every single day, every year. So at this time, we'll have Dr. Green from Richland 1 come up and share a few words with us.
Good morning. First, let me thank Sheriff Leon Lott for the opportunity to collaborate with the Richland County Sheriff Department as we ensure that every child in our school is safe. That is the number one priority for our school systems, in that every child is safe as they travel to and from school. It is critical that we impress upon the drivers to monitor the streets carefully as children are boarding and exiting buses, both morning and evenings. The one thing I would like to ensure to say to each of you, and that is that we aren't able to teach our children unless we know that they are in our schools. And to ensure that they are there, we ask that you work with us very carefully and monitor the streets also. And I want you to think about this. Think about each child as if they're your own. And I believe that if you do take that into consideration, then every child, as they try to enter our schools, will be there and will be there on time. I'd like to thank our school board, the Richland County School Board, as we start our school today. We would like to thank them for also allowing us to collaborate with the Sheriff Department as we take on this new year. And we thank you very much for the community and for all that are involved. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Debbie Ham, and I have the good fortune to serve as the superintendent of Richland School District 2. And I too would like to thank Sheriff Lott and the Richland County Sheriff's Department for bringing us together to support the safety of our students. That has got to be a top priority for all of us. Since becoming the superintendent of Richland 2, I've tried to focus on 4 areas: learning, character, community, and joy. And in some ways, safety hits on each one of those areas. And I'll start with the joy. First of all, I want to say we are so thrilled that our students are going to be returning to school on Wednesday. We look forward to having them in our halls. But when it comes to learning, all of us are learning some of the safety requirements to get our students safely to school. Whether you're a parent figuring out how to get through the driver's loop to drop your children off, whether you're a regular community driver watching for school buses, we're all in a learning process right now at the beginning of this school year. Character. I want to urge each one of you to be patient. The first few days are always a little bit slower. There may be a little bit more traffic and a little more confusion. Please, please be patient and careful these first few days of school. Community. We are relying on all of us as a community to keep our children safe. It's not just a matter for our teachers and our school administrators. It takes all of us to keep our children safe. So let's all be in this together. For 180 days in Richland School District 2, every one of those days our buses travel about 12,600 miles and deliver 19,000 students safely to school. Countless parents, daycares, and others drive the roads at the same time, taking another 14,000 students to school. So please keep all of us in your minds and help keep us safe. Thanks for your cooperation.
Good morning. I'm Chairman Aaron Bishop with the Richland 1 School Board of Commissioners for Richland County. I want to first thank Sheriff Leon Lott for taking the courage to call these school districts together to make our community aware that safety is our priority. Safety is our priority. I stand in agreement with everything that has been spoken by the leadership of Richland 1 and Richland 2, that we need to make this a community concern, something that is joint in effort to make sure that all of our students are safe. And as I stand here, I represent the School Board of Commissioners for Richland 1 and want to recognize my colleague, Commissioner Beatrice King, who's here with us today. Thank you for your support. I want to say this to cause a greater awareness of the right-of-way of students as they travel from home to school. A lot of teachers have faith that their students will arrive there safely. A lot of parents have faith that their students will leave their home and arrive to school safely. But you will be surprised how many cars are traveling, or people who are driving are missing this big yellow bus. How many cars have hit a big yellow bus? Therefore, if they miss a big yellow bus, they definitely are missing a student in uniform who walks. Let's continue to cause awareness as our pedestrians and our students are walking our streets and on the way to school, that we really look out for them, that we definitely make sure that they are a priority and we give them the right of way, because they are our leaders of tomorrow. So let us protect and preserve the leaders of tomorrow as they travel to our school districts. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing, Sheriff Leon Lott and the rest of the Richland County Sheriff Department.
Good morning. My name is Chip Jackson. I'm chairman of the Richland 2 School Board of Trustees, and on behalf of all 7 members of our trustee board, I also would like to thank Sheriff Leon Lott and the Richland County Sheriff's Department in a very serious way for a real commitment and addressing a very serious issue. The 2 school districts represented here this morning, Richland 1 and Richland 2, represent more than 52,000 students who will be in school buses and in cars and on foot walking to and from school, starting today with Richland 1 and starting on Wednesday with Richland 2. That's 50,000 students that are not currently on the highways and on the sidewalks, and on the streets of Columbia going to and from schools now. So pedestrians, be aware. Be on the lookout because it's critically important. And we ask parents if you would take special caution in doing one thing for us, and that is lead by example. Put down the text when you're taking your children to and from school. Put down the cell phone as you're traveling because things can happen so quickly. Both Richland 1 and Richland 2 have experienced the loss of a child being hit by a pedestrian in the last few years. And so this year we want to be able to end the school year as we will begin it with no injuries and no fatalities as a result of an increased heightened awareness of the safety. And it is a partnership between parents, students, school officials, law enforcement, and the general public. Let's look out for each other and have a great year. Thank you very much.
I spoke earlier about us having lots of young people who are nervous, excited, and anxious about going to school. I speak on that from experience. I have an 11-year-old who starts middle school tomorrow. I know exactly how she's feeling because she's telling me. She's also riding the big yellow school bus too, like one of the 50,000 plus kids that we've got. I'm concerned about her. I'm concerned about all the kids who go to school. So as a community, again, I want to leave you with this final message. As a community, it is our responsibility to protect our kids, and we can do it when we all work together. Questions from the media? All right, thank y'all.